Hey fellow moviegoers, and welcome to our channel Film Scene. For this video I wanted to review Dear White People because I saw the movie a little while ago and I didn't really like it, so I figured I'd give the show a try. And yeah, okay, cool. So a little bit of the background, it mainly follows the story of a girl named Sam. She and her fellow classmates are students at a very prestigious college, and it's predominantly white, so she tries to bring up racial issues on campus, tries to have a dialogue with the student body, and all this kind of comes to a head when there is a blackface party held on campus and a bunch of other issues as well. But mainly involves her and her classmates and how they sort of navigate these racial tensions on campus. I actually liked this a lot more than the movie because I feel like the movie treated Sam as a stereotypical angry black woman, and there was a whole lot of substance to her. She wasn't very dimensional, and the show, I think, did a better job of showing her sensitive side, you know, her flaws, the good things about her. It was just a lot more in-depth and it wasn't as stereotypical, so I really appreciate that. I actually like this more than I thought I would in general. I think it came from a very well-educated standpoint. It didn't, as I said, stereotype the black community at all. There were issues of colorism as well, which is a huge issue in the black community. And this was shown with people like Calandria, for example, aka Coco. She was my favorite character out of all of them, like, for sure. She is a darker black woman, and so it showed her perspective compared to Sam, who's lighter, and how Calandria had to, you know, change the way she talked, changed her hair, her appearance in general, and how she had to basically change herself in order to survive and thrive in a predominantly white community. I really liked the perspective of all the different characters, not just the black ones, but also Sam's boyfriend, whose name I can't remember at this point in time. But I liked how it showed his perspective as well, because he's a white guy dating a black girl, so I feel like he couldn't really express himself in front of her, and I can see why that could be a little bit tricky. He talked a little bit about how some white people just get the job or the fellowship or the internship because they deserve it, not because they're white, and how he felt he couldn't have that kind of dialogue with her, and she kind of took over the relationship a lot because of her position on campus, and of course the police brutality on campus, the blackface party. There's just a lot going on, so he kind of took a backseat to her agenda. So I liked that they kind of brought his story in the forefront for, I think, one episode. So I had an issue with one of the characters, and that was Troy. For the very first episode, I think we kind of got the gist of him being the jock, you know, very charismatic, and how the dad forced his son Troy to work really hard so that, in his mind, if his son was well educated and presented himself well, that he could avoid all of these racial issues. I wish that they would have just explored Troy's character a little bit more. They had 2 episodes to do it, and I think they just kind of defaulted to him being a charismatic jock, essentially. I didn't learn anything new about him in those 2 episodes, really, and I wish that they would have delved into his character a little bit more, showed different sides of him. Now that being said, I also wish that they would have included perhaps older generation stories as well. I know that I would have personally liked to see Troy's dad's story, at least for one of the episodes, because even though he's not millennial, the current political status of our nation and Black Lives Matter and racial tensions, all that jazz, while those are situational currently, racial tensions have always existed in this country, and it's not like what's happening now is necessarily new in that context. So I would have liked to see his dad, for example, his past, why he's striving so hard to make sure that his son Troy has a good education and has a better life. I wish they would have just brought that in a little bit more and made it more well-rounded, I think. But I would say that in general, this show I think it was really well researched, and they made sure that all the perspectives were pieces, but they showed a lot of the personal backstory of each character so that it felt more intimate. I also really liked how they didn't just show the before of the blackface party, they showed the aftermath as well, and the other instances. All of that give a very full picture of the status of this campus, not just the blackface party and it being isolated. But overall, I actually really enjoyed this series a lot. It's something that I would watch again for sure. I think it, as I said, it was really well researched, provided a lot of background, it was relevant obviously. Although there was some tension, it did a good job of giving you kind of a break, it was also very funny. Overall, just to wrap this up, I would definitely give this an 8.5 out of 10. So it's like a solid B, like a high B for sure. Yeah, that is my review of Dear White People. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry for jumping around. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!